Hello all the warriors, this is Roy. Welcome to Arena, and today we're going to talk about the part 2 about the track layout setup. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the setup and based on the last video. Let's start with the video. Let's go. Okay, so before the video start, I want to say thank you to all the people who are asking me how am I doing on this and any social media, because as people know, last week I just hurt my back, so I spent like almost a week to get myself recovered, and there's a lot of people asking, hey how are you, and are you okay? And I'm really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really got those messages. And also the other thing is, because as people know now, the situation in North America is pretty bad. So the numbers we are having is almost every day is like double. So I'm not really sure am I have time to make the video or not, because I have to work, but I'm not sure am I still have time to make the video. But I would try my best. Force myself. I have to make the video. I cannot let my people down. So please give me a hand, hit that like button for me. Thank you so much. And so today we're going to talk about the setup. So for the previous video, if you guys have to watch that, and today we're going to talk about the setup for the high speed, speed tech, and the technical track. So first, let's start with the gear ratio. As everybody knows, the gear ratio, we got 3.5, 3.7, and 4.1 based on the Pro chassis. It's very simple. High speed, I would definitely using 3.5, and if the high speed tag, like speed tag, I will using 3.7, sometimes 3.5. Depends if there's a highly bank, or there is a lot of bank that you have to go through, or there's a lot of curve, and then that will make me change my gear ratio to 3.7. And if there is a lot of jump and lots of bank, and especially very high bank like technical track, and there's lots of jump, that after that there's another jump and keep coming, and then that point I will probably change to 4.1. so that will be the gear ratio that you can think about it. And when you read the layout, so that will be the situation I would choose. The gear ratio depends on the track layout. So based on the track layout that I show you guys on the previous video, and depends on how to read the video, how to read the layout, then you will realize, is this technical track, or this is high speed track, or this is a high speed tech track, or a speed tech track. So then you can think about what gear ratio I might need to use. And second, we're going to talk about the rollers. So usually if the track layout has the lane change, there's pretty much 99% I will go with the double rollers. And of course there's another option for people. You can using 19mm and put it double, so that can also make your car stable during the lane change. That's also another options. But for myself, I prefer using the 13. There's no reason for it, just I like it. So of course I know the 19 works as well. So also at the back, the roller setup, I would definitely make my roller higher, so at that way when the car go on the lane change, it won't that flip over that easily, because when your roller position getting higher, then your car will not flip over that easy, because the angle when the roller is on top, the angle you can touch to the track is the distance longer, so you won't, the angle the car flip will be less. Okay, and that's the second. And then third, we're gonna talk about the brake. So during the high speed tech or speed tech, usually I will start set up with my car as like 4-wheel drive on the bank. So if you have the bank setting board, and that usually is what I do, I will definitely try to make my car is 4-wheel drive on the bank, so I can make sure my car is fully speed on the bank, so it won't slow down at all. But depends on the situation. Like if you guys see the previous video, there's a lots of let's say there's after the bank, there's a lot of jump, and you have to make sure you're slow after the bank. So which means that way I would definitely lower the rear brake and get the rear brake lower, and just using the front wheel drive, so you just using the front wheel to climb on the bank. So this way I can slow down a little bit, but it won't slow that much. So on the bank I can slow my car down a little bit, and even though after it goes down, it still slow down a little bit, and right after the jump there is a brake and the brake at the back. So it's like when you go down it's brake, and then go jump, brake, and brake. So that way it can help you for if you are facing to those kind of a track layout. And especially for the technical track, I would definitely using the front wheel drive. There's really low chance I would using no wheel drive, which means there's no wheel is touching the bank. Because unless there's really no bank at all, then I would think about it. But usually it's not happened too much, so it wasn't. Usually it's not the one of the option for myself. So that's basically for the brake setup. And also you can choose the heavy or light brake at the front. It's up to you. So it depends on how heavy the brake that you need, right? And then next that will be the tire. So as like I say, if you do the two-wheel drive, if you put the low friction at the front, which means the grip and the resistance is really, like, acceleration is very low on when you go and climb into the bank. So that way I would definitely using the, let's say, the grippy tires at the front, so it can not slow you down too much when you are going up to the bank. So when you're doing the front wheel drive, and that will be the option for myself. And but if that's four-wheel drive, and it doesn't really matters, okay? Because people might think, what's the difference between you put the low friction at the front and the back? What's the difference? Actually, there's difference is really less, especially for the MS or the MA, like the Pro chassis, because it's basically working the same way. It's no matter you put it at the front or the back, on the cornering it's basically very close. There's not that much different. But on the jump there is a difference. So for example, if I'm facing to the high-speed tech track, like after the slope there's probably 4, 5, 6 straight, then I'm going to use in the full speed and jump on that. Then I will definitely using the low friction at the front and using the grippy tire at the back. Because when your car is going to the jump, let's say to hit the slope, usually the front tire and the rear tire is the time on the air is longer than the front. So which means which tire is more, then that will affect how far you're jumping. So I will put the low friction at the front, because when the car is going up and the low friction, there's not that much grip, so it won't make your car fast. It will on the other way, it will slow your car a little bit down. So that way it can also consider as a brake. Okay, so that's the second. That's also the thing for the tires. And for the last one, there's some particular setup for, let's say, if you're facing those kind of second floor jump, and then you want to make your car as head down in the corner, then you can have this kind of a setup, like this kind of body damper. And when the body damper open, is moving all the weight to the front, so you will definitely push your head down like that. So you can make sure your head is down and through into the corner. Okay, and also the other thing I've talked about that before is like the lane change. Let's say if you see the roller, I'm doing this upside down and this is regular. And if I'm facing to the lane change, like I said before, I will add the angle just on one side. So at this way, when I only add one angles on this side, so which means because the more angle you're adding, you are much more slow at the cornering. But the way I'm doing just for one side, which means only this side is gonna be slowed down, but this side it doesn't. So when you are facing to the track there as a lane change, the first thing you can do, you can count how many left turn, how many right turn that you are doing. Then you can do a calculation. If the right turn is more, okay, then maybe that's not a good options. But if the left turn is more, there's only one right turn, which means on the lane change, then you can consider the way I just talked about. Because when you do using these rollers, you are definitely using the same degree, let's say 3.5 or even less than that, so you won't slow down at the cornering at all. But when you turning on using this roller, because the angle is bigger, but you're only facing the lane change and there's a one corner, so there's no, we can just give up that one corner, and but rest of the corner we can still speed up as like normal. Okay, so that's the thing we talk about the setup. All right, so this is today's video. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share this video. All right, thank you so much. Don't forget to press the bell, so if I have the new video, then you will know it right away. Thank you. I'll see you next time.